The extreme northeast and southwest corners of Iowa have tremendous environmental conservation experiences, but they're often a long drive from our state's major population centers.
In Allamakee and Mills counties, a pair of conservation centers are luring visitors by embracing fresh opportunities and their local natural resources.
At first, most find it surprising. 99 counties, 99 conservation boards. It doesn't matter if you're home to the state capitol, a state park, or if your population barely crests 4,000 residents. Every county in Iowa operates its own conservation effort. As the county conservation law settles into its 7th decade, many local conservation boards are continuing to see growing interest in their work. In opposite corners of the state, Mills and Allamakee County have ridden this interest to erect new education centers that highlight their unique environment. For Allamakee, that means the diverse ecosystem of the Driftless area along the Mississippi River.
When you look at the history of the area, it's a wonderful story, and that story is still ongoing. Some of the first settlements that we had in the state, were up in the area here. The topography is probably one of the things that really draws people into Allamakee County. So you have the Mississippi River as a main artery on the eastern half of the county. You have 3 different major tributaries that flow in. So those are some of the main things that have made Allamakee County a truly unique place. And it has been that way for generations or centuries.
On the western rim of the state, Mills County is home to an equally rare landform that invites conservation curiosity.
In Mills County, we're right in the heart of the Loess Hills, so they're unique to this part of the United States. They don't happen anywhere else besides for in China. Having a nature center like this just helps educate people about the outdoors, gives them kind of that central spot to start from, to come and learn about the county, and then get out and see those other parks. Walk on, bike on, canoe on, whatever, you name it. Fish at, hunt at, things like that.
Both Allamakee's Driftless Education Center and Mills Pony Creek Nature Center are brand new buildings, representing years of fundraising, planning, and dreaming up the best manner in which to showcase their surroundings.
It is probably once in a lifetime project. The Conservation Board has been around for 50 plus years here, and we started out in the back of a shop, moved to about an 800 square foot building in 24 years ago, and we just moved to this summer, so hopefully it'll last us the next 40 to 50 years.
It's not 1 or 2 people that pull a project off like this, but it's a community. So we're very, very fortunate to have, pretty good broad-based support for the development of the Education Visitor Center.
Inside the centers, visitors will find both buildings are geared to education.
We kind of have a gallery area is what they call it, and there's things to see, things to read about, stuff to learn about the native animals to Iowa, really, and mainly to Mills County. And then we have a classroom setting where we can take groups or do public programs where we have a larger sum of people around. And our goal is then to get some tables out on the deck area that overlooks the Loess Hills, so we can use that to take groups outside instead of being inside a building all the time.
In 2017, the Driftless Center opened its doors for a sneak peek. But when grand opening occurs later this year, it will be packed top to bottom with interactive displays detailing the Driftless area.
So when you come in the building, you'll see a raised map of what the Driftless area is. We'll have Illinois, Wisconsin on the right-hand side, and Iowa, Minnesota on the left-hand side. So you'll actually walk through the Driftless area, and on that raised map, you'll be able to see points of interest. From there, we'll kind of talk about wildlife and mammals that we have through the area here. We've got a very, very rich heritage of archaeology and Indian Native American activity through the area. The Mississippi River was used as a means of subsistence for Native Americans for, centuries before, the early Europeans came into the area here. So we'll have, in a nutshell, some of the things that you'll be able to see when you come back into the Education Visitor Center.
While conservation is growing in popularity, it has yet to become a very profitable enterprise. So while conservation boards may dream of facilities, making it happen requires fundraising and some taxpayer support.
The public's been really happy with what they've seen. Because when you look at it, we built $1 million building and we used about $150,000 of taxpayers' dollars. So no matter what we did, it was going to cost the taxpayers that. So I felt like we did a pretty good job, and we were responsible to the county for what we built. And we loved the design. We thought it looked cool. It's a rectangle building. It's not hard to build. The roof slants one way. The scales on it are unique. People like to talk about the scales. They think it looks like a snake, a fish, whatever. I mean, it's just something that added to it that it just kind of drew people's eyes to it. And it's like, that looks pretty cool on that hillside.
The first grant that we had received for this project was a National Scenic Byways grant. Some of the things that really helped us get that grant was the Great River Road that runs in front of the Driftless Area Education Visitor Center, the Mississippi River Trail, and then our local Driftless Area Scenic Byway. That was a $1.4 million grant, which was huge, and I believe it was the largest Scenic Byways grant ever awarded in the state of Iowa, so we were very, very fortunate.
Now that both counties have buildings erected, all that's left is engaging with the community, and for Allamakee County, they've set their sights on a perfect grand opening date.
Well, we have Ragbri coming through, as a matter of fact, so our anticipated completion date was about 2 weeks after Ragbri was going to be here, and so we've talked to our interpretive display folks, and we're hoping to move that up and have all this done so when Ragbri comes into Lansing, as the ending town, it's a good challenge, but hopefully we'll get it taken care of.
After the grand opening, that's when the real work begins, with continuing to relay the importance of conservation and celebrating the natural resources found in these very distinct pockets of Iowa.
Iowa's County Conservation Board system, you know, it's a leader in the nation. It's pretty phenomenal, and every area has its own story to tell, and every area's story is noteworthy of telling.
Conservation, it matters in the state of Iowa. I mean, we need to have clean water for our kids. We need to have places for them to go and explore instead of just do something inside all the time. Let's get outside, let's stretch our legs, and let's go learn something about the outdoors.